Hey guys, welcome to another video here in Gardening Little by Little. Today we're going to focus more on my microphylla hydrangeas that I have here growing in Florida Zone 9B. So as you can see, these hydrangeas have already done blooming for the season, and I could show you a little row here of how they were before. They look beautiful. They were bright, beautiful in the month of May. Right now we're in the beginning of July, and these plants are already done blooming. They need a little bit of deadheading. So today I'm going to focus in deadheading my microphylla hydrangeas and give them a little fertilizer so that way they could bounce back for me. Hopefully in August it will bounce back, start producing new flowers before we hit the first frost here in Florida. We moved in this property June 2024, and I don't know if I planted them here in fall or spring, but they've been in the ground for almost 2 years, and this is how far they have gotten. They are growing and looking so beautiful. The leaves are beautiful. So this is the first year we have gotten those blooms to look gorgeous and beautiful. That last year we didn't got almost no blooms, and I was a little upset. I was like, oh, maybe these microphyllas are not doing so well here because we're in a different zone than when we came from Virginia. Fun fact, I am a military spouse, so we do move. Hopefully we don't have to move anytime soon, but we were in Virginia and we brought I could say 80% of all my plants with me to Florida because I couldn't leave them behind, knowing how expensive these plants are, and I just didn't want to leave everything and start all over. So we did rented a U-Haul and we brought so many plants with us from Virginia. And all the hydrangeas that I have here in this garden are from Virginia. Like, I didn't bought any hydrangeas since I moved here in Florida. So I'm just so happy that these hydrangeas didn't give up on me. I was gonna give up on them. I was gonna take them all out because I didn't saw any blooms last year. My husband did tell me to just wait and be patient, and I did. And once I started seeing the first bud turn into a beautiful bloom, I was like, all right, we're coming with something now. The fun learning fact about gardening is to always be patient. So we made so many bouquets out of these hydrangeas this spring, for birthdays, graduations, summer, for anything. We were just making bouquets just to enjoy inside the house. It was beautiful, you guys. Most of them I didn't took pictures or any of them. We were just enjoying them. We're just enjoying ourselves, just picking the flowers and making bouquets out of them. I left my hydrangeas be. I didn't move them. I was gonna put them in the curve and just, start all over with something else. But these are doing so beautiful here in Florida. This is the morning sun they get. After 3 o'clock, the sun goes to the other side of the house. Okay, so right now we're on the east side of the house. The sun goes to the south and of the house, and that is when it's harsh, scorching sun. And I could already feel some sun here. And then the sun sets on the west side of the house, and that's when we see the sunset in front of our patio, which is so much fun to see the sunset every night. Seeing the skies change color is just gorgeous. Today we're gonna go ahead and deadhead the hydrangeas, give them fertilizer, and if I still have time, I'm gonna go ahead and trim my Edgeworthia dead branches because they just look so sad, and I'm just so sad that the branches died back, but the plant did not completely die back, so it still left me a pup. So here are the hydrangeas that we're gonna be cutting today. We're just gonna be doing deadheading because it's so sad to come out here in the garden and seeing all these dead blooms. Here are my gnomes doing so well. This is an update as well for my gnomes. They are doing so good. They've been here for almost 2 weeks and the plants are looking good too as well. But yeah, look at these hydrangeas. It's so sad to come in the garden and seeing these dead blooms. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cut them back. As you can see, there's new blooms or new leaf foliage coming in. So as they die back, they are also producing new foliage that will give us new blooms, which is very exciting. So this is the morning sun they get. See the new foliage here? Let me take that lead off. So this is a hydrangea as well. This hydrangea was moved from the other side where the Japanese maples are, and it got moved when they installed the gutters and the French drain. So she's being a little sad since then because obviously she got moved from when she was actually thriving and now she got sad. So it makes me so sad. But I'm not gonna give up on her. She has a few leaves. Next year she'll be awesome, but today she is trying to establish herself in. So this year is just gonna be focused on establishing. Next year, hopefully she'll give us some beautiful blooms. But let me show you here what made me decide to come and cut the hydrangeas back because it's awesome. As you can see here, she is giving us new blooms or new buds, and that makes me so excited because that means that there is buds forming into here, and as soon as the hydrangea lets go of these dead blooms, it was gonna focus on giving us new blooms here, which is exciting. Man, I just love how thick and beautiful the leaves feel. All right, so this is the before we take all these hydrangeas back out, and let's see how it looks after. It's around 9:30 in the morning, and it's 86 degrees, and the highest today is gonna be 96 degrees. So the weather app is saying that today is a severe weather heat advisory. So it's best to do this in the morning. I wish I would have come here earlier, but here we are. Okay, let's get to work before it gets too hot. All right, so before we start cutting the hydrangeas, I'm gonna disinfect my pruners. I got my alcohol wipes here because I don't wanna be carrying the big bottle of alcohol. I'm giving the pruners a good disinfecting with the alcohol wipes. My goal here is not to pass any diseases or bacteria that the pruners might carry. This goes along with all the trimmings that you do around the garden. To make sure you don't pass any diseases, you always need to disinfect your tools. All right, for my device not to get too hot, it's always best to have an umbrella when I'm out here working because even in the morning it's so hot and humid that it's always nice to have a nice shady area where you can rely on when you need to take breaks. Ooh, working here in Florida is a little toasty and humid. But this is the morning sun. The afternoon sun gets really worse than this. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and focus on these ones, and then we'll move on forward to the back ones. So as you can see here, there's kind of like a V shape branch here, and what I'm gonna do is come towards this new fresh one because this one is already old here, as you can see. I'm going to come in between these two and cut them right here in the middle, like that. So now we have this new one that's going to come up, and then we're going to do the same here too. You see how there's two here, one, and then two. We're going to come in between those two right here and cut them like that. And then now we have one and two, and then these ones are going to get nice and bushy. And this is how I'm going to cut my hydrangeas. I'm not going to try to go willy-nilly because I know that there's going to be new forms of foliage, and pretty soon new buds are going to be in the middle. So I just got to cut. It's a little tedious job, but I think it's going to be worth it because the hydrangeas are going to be nice and full of blooms very soon. Or like this one too. This is a bloom, and then I'm going to go in here. You see the two little buds here, one bud here and one bud on the other side. So I'm going to go on top of those buds and cut it like that. So with those buds are coming, even though there's a little bud here, but I'm just going to go down a little bit more because it's in the sidewalk area. Let's see here. So this is the bud, the flower, and then the buds are right there. There we go. And then we have two buds here that are showing up. Two buds here that are going to be ready to get bigger and hopefully give us new blooms soon. There we go. That's what I'm going to be focusing on when I'm cutting the hydrangeas, you guys. And then doing this very quickly too will help get this job done. For propagation, if you want to propagate this hydrangea, you have to cut it on the green stalk. You do not want to cut it from the brown branches because those are old wood. So those might take a while, but I haven't tried propagating hydrangeas on a brown branch. I only done it on green branches because they're new, they're young, so these are young branches, so they're definitely gonna give you roots if you want to propagate them. If you want to propagate the hydrangeas, you gotta cut them on a green branch, not the old wood brown branch. So for the brown spots that you see and the microphylla hydrangea, it's from fungicide, from too much water, which is funny because I don't water these plants. They only get water from the irrigation, the humidity, and the rain that we have here in Florida. Okay, so not all of my hydrangeas have the brown spots. Only a few of them has the brown spots. And it says that if they have brown spots, it's because you're overwatering from the top, which I don't do. The only thing that I could think of is from the rain or the irrigation. Oh, the irrigation is right there. Okay, so I could say that because the irrigation waters them overhead, that's why they're getting the brown spots. To take care of the brown spots, you gotta take the leaves off and throw them away, and then just spray the plant with neem oil. So neem oil is going to help you with the brown spots, but you only spray this in the evenings when it's not scorching hot sun like it is right now. So we'll probably come in the evening walk and just spray this to the plants around here. But right now we're just going to deadhead what we can, and then later on we'll come and spray them. All right, that is the fairy home I made a few months ago. That thing last fall, but man, do the weeds take over this bonsai pot. This is a Japanese maple tree that my husband made it into a bonsai uh, big pot here. And it's one of my favorite trees. We've been having this tree for at least a good old 5 years, maybe. A good 5 years now with this tree. And this trunk has gotten so big and it's so beautiful, and it does very good here in the harsh afternoon suns here in Florida with just the rocks in the pot. It does get irrigation every day. As you can see the irrigation here, it gets irrigation every day, so it's well watered at least once a day plus rain. So it's a very, very happy plant. I love Japanese maple trees. If we were back in zone 8, I will have a garden of just Japanese maple trees. I love Japanese maple trees. All right, one more thing here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this Hydrangeas dead branches because it just makes me so sad seeing this every time I walk by here. So I'm just gonna cut it back, see if something will come back. But if you could see from the camera, it looks white, so it's not even green no more. So it's like completely dead. This is a weed that I have to come and take off. You know what? It feels very, very squishy. So maybe it's getting a lot of water. I really don't know why it died back. All right, that's my Hydrangeas. My beautiful Hydrangeas. I could show you a picture of how it really looks. It's just really green in the summer and it's beautiful blooms in the winter. So it has beautiful interest in the winter and the blooms smell very fragrant. But I was touching the branches and they feel very squishy. So maybe it has drowned. Maybe it has gotten too much water, but I don't know where would it get the water because I don't water any of these plants in this garden here. The irrigation is over there, so that's the only water that shoots water every morning, but it doesn't really get all the way to here. So that's just a mystery to me, but kind of makes me want to put it in a pot just so I don't lose it again. But this new branch looks very good. You see the little woody bottom and then the green stem, fresh new growth. I don't know, but I really hope it does good here in Florida. This plant grows in zones 7 to 10. She loves the shade and she does not enjoy the afternoon sun. Also, harsh winds is not her way to go as well. So she really enjoys this corner area where I have her in the shade mornings, protected from the afternoon suns. Daphne's doing good. I really would like to put her on the ground, but now seeing this, I'm gonna actually wait into spring of next year to put her on the ground. Let me know if I should keep it in a pot or put her in the ground. This is a Daphne. And I think it goes all the way to zone 9. And some hellebores and hostas. We were able to stake some. We were able to stake the Chinese viburnum, but we really need to get a stronger stake. But this is just temporarily until we go get a stronger stake to stake it back, because the roots, the pot is rooted in the ground now. So yeah, the wind just pushed it down. But all right, the sun went down, so I could show you what I did so far with my hydrangeas. Okay, so now we are done pruning the hydrangeas, and I did leave some blooms on because some of them did look really good, like this one. Look at this one. Doesn't that look pretty? So yeah, I left some hydrangeas blooms on because well, some of them I see I forgot to prune, but man, I was pruning this when it was really hot. That's how hot it was out here, you guys, for my camera to just turn off. But this is a blue hydrangea, and this is a pink hydrangea. And it's so funny because I put acidic fertilizer on both of them, and they decided to just stay the colors that they came with. As you can see, we have a bloom here, looking so beautiful. And I cut back as much rustic leaves that I had here. As you can see, they look so much better than what they did at the beginning. This is a new bloom coming up here. Isn't that gorgeous? And then these ones, the leaves look so pretty. No rusty, nothing. But that's funny because it's sitting next to the irrigation. The waters it every day. This one's got the black spot foliage that are further away from the irrigation than these ones. This is the only thing that's watering them, and the rain. I cut back the hydrangea here. There was a lot of dead wood. And look at this beautiful purple one. This hydrangea turns into pink to blue to purple color blooms. You see those two blooms? They're from the same hydrangea shrub here. Two different color blooms. And the leaves look beautiful on this plant too. And I just love how they just drape around the Japanese maple tree here, giving it some good sun protection. As you can see, the tips from this Japanese maple are a little burnt because it does get some really good hot heat sun, but it does very good in the fall and the spring. Just the few months of summer that we have here, ooh, man. But after that, it does very well. Another hydrangea. I cut all the blooms that I could see on the hydrangeas. Just like this one over here, it was growing very wildly. So I cut as much dead branches, but I did leave some branches like this one. Look dead, but then it's holding on to this foliage here, so I didn't want to cut it all the way back. But I did leave some good stuff in there. Like these ones, I saw new foliage coming out, so I just leave it alone. It will fill up in no time, I hope so. This is the hydrangeas that we focus on today. Focusing on little things, little by little, surely helps the garden get some help, get some work on, and keeps it going and growing. As you can see, I gotta pick up my little pile right there. But right now, I'm gonna go get the fertilizer so we could fertilize these hydrangeas. And then later on in the evening when it rains, I'll just water it down for me. The fertilizers that I have here for my hydrangeas are plant tone. You could give this to the plants as the growing season continues. I love giving this in the beginning of the growing season. the soil acidifier. I like giving this to the hydrangeas, and as you can see, it gave me beautiful, colorful blooms. And when the leaves start to look a little yellow and fading away, I like to give them some iron tone, as it helps with the chlorosis. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of this iron tone to the plants that look a little yellowish. I'll probably give it to the blue hydrangea. I'm gonna give it a little bit of the iron tone so it could help it look a little greener, because I feel like right now this plant is looking a little yellowish. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of iron tone. And all of them are gonna get a little bit of soil acidifier and some good plant tone, so that way it will give fruit to the roots, and then we get new blooms later in the season. In a few weeks, or maybe in a few months from now, we'll get nice good blooms before we get our first frost here in Florida, which that's not until like January. So hopefully before then we get another beautiful set of fresh new blooms.
Gardening isn't about rushing through chores. It's about slowing down, observing your plants, and giving them the care they need. Every little task helps create a healthier, more beautiful garden one day at a time. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope this peaceful time in the garden inspires you to spend a little time outdoors today.
I could continue cleaning, pruning, weeding all day, but reality garden right there, you can only do so much in one day before you get tired. And that is like this for me in Florida. It gets very hot and very humid here. So doing little projects here and there will help me so much in not getting it done all in one day. My little companion. I'm all sweaty and hot, and I'm ready to go inside. Thank you so much for watching this video of how I take care of my hydrangeas, how I didn't give up on them, and how they have produced so many beautiful flowers this spring. As you can see, the sun is coming out and I'm ready to go inside. Hopefully in a few months I could show you how beautiful these blooms have grown. I bet they're very happy that they got food, they got pruned back, and they're ready to bounce back again. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.